Hey, Star fam, long time. Oh, I have my foot massager on. Hey, Star fam, long time no here. How are we doing? Thank you all so much for being here. I wanted to wrap up this crazy, chaotic week talking about our girls, the Real Housewives of Orange County, the Real Housewives of New Jersey, and the Real Housewives of Dubai, because we have a new episode starting next week, and also some shows, some newer shows that I am finally caught up with that I want to talk about. And I just don't want to have to talk about so many episodes next week. So we're going to end the week here, and then we're going to have a fresh start next week. Keep in mind, I am traveling again. I told you guys, I'm going to be traveling for I won't be stable until October. So I'm going to be traveling the whole month of September, the whole month of August and September. So the lives will be all over the place. I might do a bit more recorded reviews just to keep up, but just so you know, just a heads up, your girl is traveling a lot. Every week I'm on a plane. It's not fun. It's not fun, especially since the Supreme Court said that you don't have to regulate these damn flight companies. Child, it's a scary time every time I enter on one of those. Zip patch. The way of the woman is upon me. Keep me in your prayers. Anyway, how are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? Hey, Busola, how are you? Hey, Alicia. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Pearl. Oh, also, guys, still up in the air.
Okay, I found this on the web for Haitian Pearl. Oh, also, guys.
No, sorry, Sari. Also, London is still up in the air. It's leaning more towards I am going, but I just don't know my schedule, to be quite honest with you. As soon as I get that locked in, I will be able to let you guys know. However, in addition to that, I want to know for my London bays, what do you guys want to do? Like, do you just want to like meet up at a coffee shop and talk? Or do you want to like actually meet somewhere where there's like a screen and we can talk about our favorite reality TV shows? And like, do you want to see me do like a live review? I don't know. What do y'all want to do? I feel like we could just hang out, but again, I don't know where to hang out in London, and I haven't reached out to anybody yet just because I don't want to get something started and then I have to cancel. So I'm just putting feelers out just to let you know that something may be happening soon, if possible, in probably the second week of August. But again, I will not know probably until we get into August, to keep it buck with you. So it really would be like a rush thing. I apologize. I plan on doing a Philly meetup. My next meetup is going to be in Philly after the London one. If it happens, the next meetup will be in Philly, and that'll probably be around the holiday season, because I know I'll be like off. You know what I mean? I know like my industry is dead literally around that time. So I know that I'll have more time to like be able to really plan something. And that's like my hometown. So I already know where I'm going to do it. I know the grounds there. So that's going to be a lot easier. And you'll probably have like a month or two notice about the Philly meetup, but just with London, I just don't know. It's just really up in the air. But Philly for sure, that the Philly meetup will either be in November or December. That I know for sure. So let me know, my London bays, what you guys want to do. Let me know. Hey, Spency. Spency said, hey, Nikki.Star and fam. I always get lucky. Your lives are when I'm free. LOL. Also, have you seen on the Love Island press? They are eating. Well, you know what? I'm in Atlanta right now. So that's probably why this time is a little better. Like when I'm on the West Coast, my lives are a hit or miss just because of the time difference. So, my lives always do well when I'm on the East Coast. I'm very proud of Love Island. Serena just reached 1 million followers today. So excited on Instagram. So excited for my girl. Janae, get on TikTok. They're begging for you to get on there, but they're eating. The reunion is going to be great. I cannot wait. Hey, love like you are. Missy said, hey, Nikki. Hey, Star fam. Hope you're all well. I've missed y'all. We've missed you too. Busola said, did anyone watch the Olympic game opening ceremony? Bravo. Bravo. This is why you have to fund artists. This is why artists are so necessary. Like, yes, we are there for the Olympians and for the great work that they do, but it was so much artistry in that opening ceremony. It absolutely inspiring. Absolutely inspiring. Artists matter. Just like Black lives, artists matter. I think you can watch the playback if you have Peacock, and I think you can also watch it on YouTube. Busola said, how are your travels going? Hope it's going great. Listen, I have to travel for like just a lot of stuff, work stuff, family stuff. And it's like, it's what I have to do. I really don't like traveling. I'm a Sagittarius, so I like to like travel and go different places. I don't like the actual travel of it all. I like the travel when I get to the location and I'm able to flaneur and just have a grand time. Driving or in a plane going to a location, it's my worst nightmare. I just hate it. I do not like the travel to get to the actual travel, to the actual vacation or whatever. You know what I mean? I just don't like it. It's not my thing. I wish I could teleport. I do not like it, but thank you so much. It's going as best as it can. You know, if I'm on a plane or if I'm in a car for a long distance, it's just not a good time for me. Kimberly said, hey, Nikki, love you. So happy to see you on my screen. Oh, thank you. Love you too. Busola said, I'm watching it back on CBC here. Oh, what's CBC? Is it like our CBS? Jess Jonathan said, you are so right. The opening ceremony was art personified. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And those artists, they didn't get paid much. I know that for a fact. They did not get paid. For what they put up there, what you think they got paid, they didn't. They didn't. And because they love it so much, they're okay with it. And that's our problem. That's our problem. Anyway, the first review that we are going to start off with is, I think we're going to end with New Jersey because there's just more to talk about with New Jersey. And I'm going to start off with Dubai just because Dubai bores me. No shade. I'm just having a good time watching it. I think I will have a better time come later in the season because I saw the mid-season trailer and maybe it'll interest me a bit more. But I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like it's the location. One, I'm just not wowed by Dubai, right? It's not gagging me. I feel like we need another location because I just haven't seen anything where I'm like, I think the only thing that wowed me about Dubai was when that girl was having like Thanksgiving dinner and that rotating egg. Like I thought that was gorgeous, but it's like nothing else. Every time the girls are like having an event is in a desert because we need them to, get into it so we can have some kind of drama, but they can't get into drama in public because they'll get locked up. So it's like you can't really see these grand. Atlanta is Miami. The way it is consistently raining here is crazy. And it'll be like sunny. Like it was so sunny and then it just started raining. This place is Miami. They don't tell you that, but just know if you ever plan to move to Atlanta, it's Miami. It's Miami with gorgeous Black people, but it's Miami. Anyway, like with Dubai, it's like you're saying it's Dubai. You're saying there's affluence. You're saying that there's money there. And yes, we get to see it in the fashions. It's also the destination as well, right? The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I told you guys when I started watching that show and the Real Housewives of New York, the thing that really drew me to that show was the places that they would go because I would write those places down and, want to go visit those places or aspire to go to those places when I had a good coin. I don't know where the hell to go in Dubai if I'm watching this show because they cannot have any kind of, events in public. And then like the last event was like at somebody's small apartment. Why is everybody in apartments? Why does no one have a home in Dubai? And if they do have a home, it's a casita. Like what? I can't. Dubai is losing me, y'all. Dubai is losing me quickly. But since we're here, let's talk about it. Let's get into Talene. I'm just going to break this down real quick. And it's not that I have sympathy for Brooks or whatever like that, because I told y'all from season 1, she got a bad attitude. I don't know how she got cast on this show. And it seems like this season she got a little drinking problem. Like every confessional, homegirl's a little drunk. That aside, Talene was never her friend. Talene was never her friend. No way. This is your bestie of 10 years. And as soon as y'all have one little mix up, You dragging her, your mother sitting over there dragging her, your husband is threatening to beat her up. Now you're best friends with the bro that don't like her, and the only reason why she don't like that bro is because she was protecting you. All of a sudden, your friendship is in the garbage. You were never her friend, and that's a hard lesson to learn on camera. But Brooks is a big girl. She should have known from jump when she was begging her to be on a TV show. And Talene, we got to tell the truth and shame the devil. You are absolutely begging Brooks to be on this TV show. I won't fault you. This is a fun, easy job. It's a fun, easy job that pays a nice coin. Enough coin for a woman to get out of a situation financially, to get out of a marriage that she's held captive in financially. It's a nice little coin to make. Now, I'm not saying that's Talene's situation because I feel like her and her husband, I feel like they're a strong unit, but I'm saying for, a lot of women who are in bad marriages, let's be honest, a lot of women come on this show to get divorced because this show solidifies a nice coin for them. If the man that they are with is going to hold out on some money, at least they got a nice little Bravo check to keep them flourishing until he either, gives the money or, you just take your losses. So I understand wanting to be on this show, but I'm just saying there's something up with as soon as you get on the show, you switch up on your friend like that. Because if you and Brooks have been besties for 10 years, she's telling you everything about Stansbury. As soon as you get on the show, you're trying to be Stansbury's best friend. And Brooks is already telling you that you and her are into something because of what she said about you. So she's letting you know that something is up with this girl and you're trying to be her best friend. Speaking of Stansbury, I don't get how everybody is groveling to be her friend. I don't understand. I'm sorry. I watched Ladies of London. I was in and I was out. That's why the show got canceled. It just wasn't interesting. She wasn't an interesting lead to me. Like, I just did not understand what was the draw. Now, was this show based around her? I can see that, right? But I'm just like, after season 1 and how the fan bases have formed, I feel like all of these ladies should know at this point that she's not that girl, at least for Dubai. But for some reason, they are all trying to grovel at her feet to be, Caroline's number one pet. And it's weird. It's weird to see Talene, grovel at Caroline, at Stansbury. It's weird to see, Ayan, like, just sacrifice everything to be her friend. I feel like the only people who are standing 10 toes down are Lisa and Sarah and Brooks. Like, well, I won't even put Brooks in that because Brooks, she was groveling last season and you're groveling now. There's something about this lady that makes the majority of this cast feel like she is like God. And it's just so weird because you're looking at girls who you think are that girl trying to be besties with the girl who you're just like, she should try to be in your clique. Like, why are you trying to join her? It's just weird. It's so weird how they are so obsessed with her and they are so obsessed with making her light shine or making this a great experience for them and risking losing their relationships. And that just takes me to Chanel, who is falling from grace for me greatly. Here's the thing. We have an issue in this group and it's happening so early and it's bothering me, right? We have talked about this on several Housewives shows before. This is the downfall of the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Nobody is playing their position anymore on Jersey. That's why that show is in the gutter, right? This is happening on season 2 of Dubai, and it's probably why I'm checked out. It's also probably why the show is doing terrible in the ratings because the ladies are now changing position. Everybody on this show has a role. We'll start with Ayan. She's the funny, comedic relief fashionista. Then we get to Talene. She's the newbie on the cast, right? So she is somebody who is going to, whatever anybody identifies with, that's going to be her identity, especially the girl who she thinks is the main girl. So right now, we can't really call her, but we know who she is. She's the new flunky. Then we have Lisa, right? She is the hot youngest wife of the group, right? Her role is just to be hot, have a rich husband that loves and adores her. You see her doing her fashion, but at the end of the day, she's there because she's gorgeous. And when the people watch this show, they gag. They gag at her beauty. They gag at her fashions. They gag at this young housewife that got all the girls on this show going crazy. She is the Eva Longoria of this show, because we all know that the housewives are based off of Desperate Housewives. So she's Eva Longoria, right? Then you have Stansbury, who's the HBIC. I don't know why, but this is the role that they gave her. I think they gave her this because she was the HBIC of the ladies in London. And I also think that maybe she was the one who came to Bravo with this show idea. And that's maybe why they've built everything around her. I just feel like it's weird. Here is why. She just hasn't shown me why she's the HBIC. Nene showed you why she was the HBIC, right? Jill Zarin, as annoying as she was, she showed you why she was the HBIC. At the time, Carolyn Manzo showed you why she was the HBIC of New Jersey. I still have yet to see it with Stansbury. I didn't see it in the Ladies of London, and I just don't see it on the show. But her role is the HBIC, and she plays it well, right? Then you have Brooks. She is the villain. We just got to call it what it is. Brooks has gotten into something with everybody. She is playing the Kenya Moore role, but she's playing it poorly because she really means the attacks, right? She really gets angry about these things. Kenya is ghost producing, right? So if she's playing the villain part, she's playing it to get a reaction out of somebody, and then she's moving on because it's another episode, right? Or it's another scene. Brooke stays in this place, so she plays her position poorly, but this is who she is. She is the villain. Then you have Sarah. She is the artsy-fartsy girl of the group, right? Artsy-fartsy, spiritual, crystals, and all of that stuff. The out-of-worldly friend, right? The one who is just like, oh my God, here she comes with those crystals. But every now and again, she drops some tea, and she is always the one that wants the group to come together. She is the Cynthia, right? She's the, the resolution friend, the peace friend, the peacemaker. And then you have Saba. Nobody knows why the hell she's here, but she's rich. She's rich. Doesn't add anything to the show, but she's rich. So for a while, everybody has played their role. Then we get into season 2. Now Chanel, who used to be funny and comedic, is trying to be messy. You cannot be messy, and you cannot be a bone carrier if you, at the minute you get a little pushback, you break down. The key to being messy is to standing in it, avoiding it, lying about it, and then when it gets too hot, owning it. You don't do that because that is not your position. You're supposed to be funny. You're supposed to be the fashionista, the one who just dresses loud and crazy and fun, right? That's supposed to be your position. Now you're trying to be messy, and you're doing poorly. You're doing poorly, right? Then you have, I want to skip over to Lean because she's new. Lisa, still playing her position, but she's not working in this group because she's the only one still playing her position. Everybody else now has moved on to different jobs. Now the cast is discombobulated. Then you have Stansbury. I will say this, she's the HBIC, but she's jumping into mess and orchestrating mess, and it's just not working for her. Here is why. Because she's orchestrating mess through someone who is supposed to be the comedic relief of the group. When her and Brooks were friends, it worked out. It worked out because they could orchestrate mess in a way that would create chaos in the group, and nobody knew who did it unless you were watching the show. It was the perfect way to ghost produce. But because she's no longer friends with Brooks, they can't play their part together. So now she's jumping to Chanel, who don't know what the hell she's doing, and now everybody's uncomfortable. And looking at everybody making these choices, it's not entertaining. Everybody just looks like they're making dumb decisions. And then you have Brooks, who, I'm just going to be, real with you. Something's going on. Something is going on because she's coming in hot, even hotter than last season. Just even going at Stansbury. Stansbury is not that girl for me, and she gets on my nerves, but the way she was coming for her, I was like, you're ridiculous. There's nothing that she said or did. And then like the next episode, you're trying to be her best friend. What is going on there? Then you have Sarah, Miss Artsy Fartsy, right? Miss Artsy Fartsy Crystals, right? She's now trying to do the relationship thing. It didn't work for Cynthia, mama. It's not going to work for you. You are artsy fartsy, peacemaker friend. Now you're trying to be, I'm gonna leave the artsy fartsy alone, and now I'm going to try to be the relationship friend. That's Lisa. We got the relationship that we admire on the show. It's not going to be you, especially with this guy who you don't even know his location. You don't know a damn thing about this man, and he done already met your son. So everybody is all over the damn place, and then Saba is just there chiming in. Don't nobody even remember her when she's at the table until she chimes in, and you're just like, oh, Saba is here. Who is that again? It's just the cast is discombobulated because everybody is running different roles. They have crafted and created a character for us to get to know. Then they've abandoned it season 2. What the hell is production doing? What is happening there? So this is why this argument with Chanel and Lisa is just going to put a bad taste in everybody's mouth watching this show, because their friendship was something that made us come to watch the show. It's falling apart too early. This friendship, y'all need to get in it season 8. This is too soon for a relationship, a friendship that brought us to the show to dissolve, because Chanel and Lisa got into it because Lisa, being messy with her friend, sent a voice note of Sarah talking about Brooks, but she was wrong. So she sent what she was wrong about what she thought she heard. So she sent it to Chanel. Chanel, trying to be buddy with Caroline, up her behind, played it with her. Caroline's messy. And she's messy, and she's best when she's messy with Brooks. But she'd have got messy with Chanel, and she'd have told everybody about the voice note, right? So Chanel gets upset because Brooks said it. Lisa is upset because somebody who she considered her best friend before this show even happened betrayed her by trying to get in the good graces of Caroline, right? So she says to her, I can never trust you anymore. Now, do I think that she meant that? I don't think she meant that. I think she just said that out of hurt, right? And I think Chanel said a lot of things out of hurt. So they get into it. Chanel walks off. She acts like she's mad at Stansbury, but she's really mad at Lisa. So Lisa goes to check on her friend. Chanel cusses her out, says that she betrayed her. Lisa leaves her room crying, calls Chanel's husband. That's how you know that they're real best friends off this show. They're so close. She called Chanel's husband to tell him that her and his wife then got into it. Why would she do that if there wasn't a real relationship there? The husband, he woke it up in the middle of the night. What is happening? What is going on? Then Lisa's husband calls. As soon as she hears his voice, he's saying he out the pub. Listen. And she said, why wasn't you with them kids? Anyway, he said, because my mom is there and I wanted to get a drink after work. I understand. So anyway, she finally tells him what happened with her and Chanel, and she just starts crying and breaking down. And the episode ends there. And I'm just like, ugh. It's too many positions being moved, and it's too many relationships that we're just getting to see break down. I don't know what's going over there with Bravo and the reality show, TV show productions. I feel like the only reality TV show that's holding steady is Below Deck. That's why they keep the numbers, because they have developed a show and they have developed characters that viewers like, and they stick with it. Something is happening with the Housewives shows where everybody just switches characters that people liked or loved the next season. And it's like, listen, I know this is your real life. The majority of this show is entertainment. We are watching your real life to be entertained. This stuff got to be manipulated. Y'all have to start lying and faking. Y'all are being so real. Y'all going to reel yourselves out of a check. This is not working. Dubai needs a new location. It needs a new location. It's just not working. It's not working. Something is off here, but God bless the girls. I hope they get it together. The mid-season trailer does look a little interesting. So I'm gonna stick with it. But at this point, I'm just tired. I'm tired. And Talene is not doing good for me. Her or Saba. These two new people is not doing good, because Saba is just snooty and she just doesn't really have a purpose. We know nothing about her. She's just there to look down on the girls. We don't need that. We do not need that. We already like these ladies. So you coming in not liking them is not going to work in your favor. And then we have Talib, who I was fine with, even though she came in and betrayed Brooks. That ain't my business, right? That's that fake friendship that Brooks established. She should have put on her discernment and realized that you wasn't a friend to begin with. That's on her, right? What pissed me off about Talib was her husband jumping into Brooks's face saying, I don't give a damn about these cameras. So if the cameras wasn't there, what were you going to do? I don't like it when the husbands, one, get involved, and then when they start to get abusive. Absolutely not. This is a show for women, about women. Leave your aggressive husbands home because it's just not going to be a good look. That's all I have to say about this show. What do you guys have to say? I'm going to talk about, we're going to hop in the comments for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to hop into OC. Let me put my timer on. Timer. Let's talk about it. Hey, Robert J, how are you? Oh, be like D. I did that last week. I'm going to talk about the reunion. If that's what you're talking about, I'm going to talk about that. But I did the finale. I did that last week. It was too much. It was too much. It was just a turnoff. I was just like, why are you even like, I don't know. Chanel, it was a turnoff for me. Just John said, my 17-year-old said Los Angeles has a big job to come even close to Paris. I think LA is going to eat. But I think that a lot of people need to realize that LA culture, the culture in LA that is popular is Black and Mexican culture. So you're going to see a lot of that. And it may be a little, you got Snoop Crip walking walking with the torch. But oh my God, that's why he was carrying the torch, because LA is hoping okay. Because I was just like, why is Snoop carrying the torch? It's because LA is going to host the next Olympics. So listen, people is going to have to realize that LA culture is the popular culture is Black culture and Mexican culture, and a bit of that will be gangish. So expect some Crip walking at the Olympics. Child, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I won't be in LA. Oh, it's already a nightmare with traffic. With the Olympics, I won't be there. I should Airbnb my apartment. Now I don't want nobody in my home. I got to talk to my sisters because I feel like this would be the best time to buy property and Airbnb it. Oh, yeah, I got to talk to my sisters. We about to make some money. We about to make some money. But yeah, they do. They have a big job, but I think they're gonna do it. LA got it. The entertainment capital of the world. They got it. JG said Ayan is trying so hard and threw her friend under the bus for nothing. It's giving pick me for the white rich lady to bring me in her circle. Same with Talib. It's weird. So weird. I'm like, Chanel, you're trying to get with Stansbury when Stansbury needs to be getting with you. You're that girl. If anything, you were the draw to Dubai. You were the one that everybody talked about the most. So seeing you like throw Lisa away for Stansbury, not a good look. Just John said, I want Housewives just being rich and doing rich chick-ish. I am too grown for women slap boxing all the time. It's part of why my age peers left Atlanta in droves. Yeah, and unfortunately, I think this was going to happen to Atlanta. I think this season of Atlanta, Atlanta may get put on pause because from what I'm seeing, it doesn't give me the Atlanta that we all became huge fans of. I hate to say it, but it's giving Love and Hip Hop. It's just a different audience, not a better audience or worse audience. I just don't think who they cast is going to be able to hold the faithfuls. I just don't see it happening. Thank you, Dear Show Podcast. Thank you for being here. Miss P said, I know that people like Ayan, but I'm not feeling her. Yeah, I love her. I think she's the best thing that happened to Dubai. She lost me this episode. Like that was her, the way she did Lisa, weird. JG said the issue is everyone feeds into this narrative made by fans, stands to play the game and force things that should be natural. I absolutely agree. I also think that these people were cast to play a role. And unfortunately, they are feeding into fans and what fans want them to do and feeding into, and I think another reason why these shows aren't working is because like when the Housewives were good, if we think about it, when the Housewife shows were at their best, they were not on social media like that. I think social media was around, it wasn't that popular. They were not on it like that. When they started creating these fan bases and talking with bloggers, it ruined the show. It ruined the show because now nobody's listening to production. Everybody is listening to fans, stands, and bloggers and coming in with these agendas, and it's just not working. Bloggers, I won't say bloggers, but the reaching out to bloggers and listening to stands ruined Jersey. Ruined it. And speaking of Jersey, my Jersey videos are doing very well. And so I'm starting to get like a lot of Jersey people coming, on my reviews and leaving comments. I want to let you guys know, I will beat you up. Like, we have got to stop playing these games. I am not trying to sit up here and act like I'm this tough girl, but I am a Black woman from the Philadelphia inner city. Please don't play with me. Please stop that talking slick and crazy and all that stuff. If you won't talk to me like that in my face, don't come on my platform and think that that's where it's going to fly. Do not let these dimples fool you. I love a good scrap, okay? I love a good scrap. Yes, I'm too pretty to be brawling in them streets, but I'm not too uppity that I can't do a little fighting. Y'all better play with somebody else. The way y'all be talking to me, you're crazy. You're crazy. And I'm so glad you can hide behind your little YouTube emoji or whatever, your little YouTube profile, because we know you could never say it to my face. We know you could never say it to my face. Stay in your lane, because you wouldn't even pop that smoke in Philly. You pop that smoke in Jersey, but you know you wouldn't do it across the bridge. So let's stop playing tough online. Now, I've been getting some comments. I've been blocking some Real Housewives of New Jersey fans or stands of certain people. And if I've said something, they feel like they can talk to me any kind of way on this platform. And I think it's because I'm an adorable girl, right? I'm cute. Don't nobody know. Nikki from 61st and Pine. Don't nobody know Nikki from Henry HMC. Oh, that was a mess. Thank the Lord for deliverance, but there's always a residue. It's like Prego, it's still in there. Yes, and my mama fights too. So if you're older than me, get ready, because my mama got hands. Ain't that right, mama? Mm-hmm. Period. Just Jonathan said, Sarah can miss me with the pious, I'm so religious, no premarital-ish act. Nobody believes that. Nobody believes that she has not tasted the essence of that fine Black Arabian man. Girl, stop. She dated the fine Italian from the 365 movies. That man's Instagram could get you pregnant. No way she didn't ... with him. Yeah, nobody's believing Sarah. That's where I can rock with Stansberry on. Because Stansberry is just like, Sarah, please stop it. Please, Sarah. Like, that's what I can get with Stansberry. Because she does not allow Sarah to play in her face. Sebastian said, OMG, glad you're back. Hey, Star fans. Hey, Sebastian. Hey, give me shelter. Yeah, I'm trying to stick with it because of that mid-season trailer, but they've been getting on my nerves. Miss P said, I'm trying to watch it get into Dubai, but I can't. They switch roles. Like, I'm like, guys, it is too early for you to stop doing the stuff that we started watching the show and liking you for. You can't abandon that this early. Like, what are you doing? I miss them. This is how terrible the Housewives have been. I am missing Beverly Hills. I am anxiously waiting for them to get back on my TV screen. I miss my girls. Bring back my girls, please. Hey, Julie. Give Me Shelter said Dubai has way too many filming restrictions. That's another thing. It's too restrictive. It's too restrictive. If we're going to stay in Dubai, they need to be going on trips every freaking week. Every freaking week. They got to get out of Dubai. JG said, Lisa is too good for the show. I noticed she's really done all of the US promo. Also, Talina and her husband desperately want to be on the show, and he played into a stereotype proudly, which is insane. Because here's the thing. Speaking of Talina, and I agree with you, Jade. No, I didn't mean to say it like that, but I agree with you, Jade. Here's the thing. Talina, popping her ponytail at Brooks, respect, right? And her husband, I don't give a damn about these cameras. Oh, who you about to beat up? What's about to happen, right? So y'all so tough and everything. Then the next scene, Talina, Brooks was just so aggressive and so scary. Really? Because you was outside holding your cigarette, telling her to F off. Yeah, whatever, yeah. Now you're in your home crying, like Leah said, white woman scared tears. All of a sudden, you afraid. Since when? When you jumped at her, she should have jumped back. But see, you know what, Brooks? You better than me. You jump at me, I'm jumping back. Dalface said, I think Dubai needs a punch, but overall, I enjoy it. Minus Sergio. He's so annoying. He's so annoying. And like a baby is not happening, bro. It's not happening. That woman is damn near 50. She don't want the 2 kids she got. No shade. You think she's going to have another? I would not want a child to be born into that situation. Let it go, Sergio. Give each other says Sergio's annoying too. Caroline carries him around like how rich women carry around their annoying, yappy little dogs. I think she just needs to let it go. Cause it's not like they banging coochies. Like nothing is happening there. So why do you keep him around? Just to let people know that you got somebody young and hot? Girl, nobody believes this marriage. Like, why would you even go into it? Your daughter don't even believe this. Let it go. Be single, sexy, and free. Like, you don't act like you like him. So what are you doing? Switchy said, OMG, you have to do that because that upcharge is going to be amazing. But I'm not like a upcharger like that. I think I'll probably just keep it normal. I might upcharge by like 100. I don't know. I don't like price gouging. It's the worst thing, but me and my sisters, we're going to do it. But I will not be in LA for the Olympics. Dalface said, when Caroline sits in his lap, I just roll my eyes out of my head. She doesn't have to, though. She's the draw. She's the draw. Absolutely. I absolutely agree with you. I think it's pretty much done. Hey, Aries son, how are you? Jackie Reed said, I forget that Dubai has a new episode until I see Kempire has a review. Yep. And I've just been watching Kempire's his mini reviews on TikTok. And then I just started catching up when I got to Atlanta. Listen, like, leave me alone. I am such a sweetie. But when you piss me off, Sagittarius Nikki comes to the stage. I'm sicker than Michelle. Like, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to, Debbie? You would never talk to me like that. You would never talk to me like that in person. Let's stop playing these games. They get on my nerves. Like, who are you talking to? Like, don't play. They're so happy they can hide behind that profile. So happy. You would never talk to me like that in person. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. Kayla said, say less. I'm going to be in every New Jersey live or video because don't play with my star appear. Period. Sorry, so Seth. I know we're highbrow Negroes over here, but I had to deal with some people in my comment section, and I'm tired. Yes! Shout out to 60% fine. Let's go. They always talk slick from the suburbs. Please stop. Are you Cherry Hill? Because I'll let Cherry Hill slide because I used to live here too. I love me some Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Thank you, Brittany. I miss them so much. They brought it every time. Let me put my ringer. on mute. I apologize. I want to get 3. Sorry, I clicked out of the live. But I'm gonna get 3 more comments and then we're gonna get into OC. Give Me Shelter said, let's all meet in Camden, New Jersey, and then make our way to North Philly for the Keyboard Warrior meetup. They need to learn we don't play those games. Camden, yo. I'm West Philly tough. I ain't Camden tough. I know my limits. I know my limits. Which is like, listen, violence is not the only answer. It is an answer. But I'm just saying, I just feel like, because, I'm adorable. And I think I'm a nice person. I could always be nicer, but I just think because of how I come off on here, people just think they can talk to me any kind of, or like write stuff. And I'm like, no, that's not okay. That's not okay. I don't respond to it. I used to respond and I was just like, we both look like fools. So I just don't respond to that stuff anymore in my comments. I just I block and delete. But just so you know, because New Jersey I'm going to talk about New Jersey in this live. Just so you know, Jersey, don't play with me. Don't play with me. Y'all leave that stuff on Twitter. Y'all do all that fighting on Twitter. Don't come over here with that. Momi said, I was initially enjoying this season of Dubai, but now the beefs are becoming annoying. Yep. They are being dragged out, and now Ayan and Lisa have beef. And yes, Sergio, please find some friends. When Ayan thought that he was coming on a girls' trip, it's too much. It's too much. I miss you two realities. That's what it's given. That because he's the only husband. He is the only husband. Every time there's a scene with the ladies here, him and Sergio, and that's why they love each other, because they're trying to be housewives. You know whose husband you never see? Lisa's husband. Why? Because he's working. He got a job. He has a job. You know whose husband you don't see? Ayan's husband. Why? Because he's working. The sisters got husbands that go to work. I don't know about it, them other broads, but their husbands go to work. They're on this show to appease their wives because they want them to have something. But their women don't need to do this show. They are supporting their wives because they know that this is what the love of their life wants to do. But without this show, they're good. The mother broads got to do all this stuff. Hop on here and act the plumb fool with these husbands. Because, Talene, if your husband and Bill half of Dubai, how was he always available to film? How is he always available to film? And if his family is so prestigious, they don't have a problem with him getting on this show trying to scrap with women, especially in Dubai. Ciao. Thank you, Ashir. Mwah. Mwah. Listen, I used to work with some girls from Camden. Camden don't play. Camden don't play. And my church had a sister church in Camden. And my God, today, them Camden Christians, they don't play. They do not play. Let's get into the Real Housewives of Orange County. First of all, the girls are eating. The girls are eating. This is reality TV. Now we're back. First of all, let's just talk about the promo. Let me bring that up because gagged. That's when I was just like, oh, these heifers came to play. Oh, where is oh, shoot. Hold on. I knew that they were going to do this to me. Where is it? There we go. Yes. There it is. Thank you, StreamYard. Eating. After years of begging these broads to show up, they finally showed up. Let's get a close-up of the looks. Jesus jugs. Amazing. The best she's ever looked. I'm sorry, Alexis, that came off shady. But I'm just, whoever did the styling for this photo shoot, Great job. Katie, new chick, love her. Love her. I've always said, I do not understand how the majority of this cast is not either Mexican or Asian, because they are the largest demographics in Orange County. You go to Orange County, you're going to see a whole gang of Asians and a whole gang of Mexicans. White people are sprinkled in. So how in the hell they became the main look for this show baffles me. We finally got an Asian cast member who's delivering. And I like her. I think she's garnering to be Heather's replacement. I think she's doing a great job. Jen, the extensions, I don't know what's going on with the extensions, but I love this look. I love this wet metallic look. Yes, eating. Shannon Storms-Bador. It's her season. And we all thought that she was going to have a terrible season because of that DUI. My God, today. Who knew that Jesus Jugs was going to be her redemption? Eating. Emily with the body. Always had the body. Unfortunately, this body is put on a white woman who is a part of a community that thinks that this body is ugly. Like, girl, I've always said that Emily needs a man of color. I do not know why the Lord gave you this woman of color body, but girl, you got to embrace it. You have to. I don't want to see you shed another tear about being thick. Tamra, she had to be here. I like the dress. I think the dress is really cute. Her performance this season, Basura. She gets on my nerves, but she's taking it. Come on, thigh-high boots. Come on, slick back pony. The girls are here to serve, and I am excited. So we first start off with Shannon crying, about everything that's going on in her life. The DUI, the boyfriend with the jacked up teeth leaving her and getting with Jesus Jugs. And I'm like, Shannon, save your tears. Nobody cares. You shouldn't have been driving drunk. And I stand by that. You know what I mean? Because this is the thing about Shannon. She's my girl. Shannon don't like to take accountability. She will stay in that victim mindset and be like, well, I did this because of this. Nobody cares. You shouldn't have did it. Just own it and move forward, right? So she didn't get any sympathy from me. Then along comes Jesus Jugs. And Shannon, I know when casting told you or production told you that she was joining this show, you were just like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm already going through so much. And now I have to deal with my freshly ex-boyfriend's new promise ring girlfriend. I knew you thought that this was going to be the worst thing that ever happened to you. Thank the Lord Jesus Jugs joined this cast, because the way she is single white femaling you is redeeming you. She has single-handedly redeemed you in 3 episodes. This was your season to get raked through the coals. This was your season to get dragged, and you had to eat it because it was your fault. Jesus Jugs came in, and all of a sudden everybody's just like, oh my God, we got to protect Shannon. Jesus Jugs and that housewife hopping boyfriend helped you out tremendously this season. You don't have to thank her, but you need to thank the Lord, because he came in and he gave you a redemptive out. You are not going to be raked through the coals this season. Not as long as Jesus Jugs is there stalking you. And can we talk about how Alexis has practiced everything? All of her reads to Shannon, she's practiced them. There's the door, Shannon Storms-Bador. Corny. Boo, corny. And I'm disappointed in you, Jesus Jugs. I'm disappointed in you because I thought when you got away from that Jim Jones ex-husband, I thought that you were just going to have a just much better time on the show. I was even like begging production to recast you on the show because I was watching you on your friend's YouTube channel and you seem to be a ray of light. But you know what? I know what's going on. The girls are broke. So you're doing every and anything to get on this show and to have a storyline. I get it, but coming on this show being the villain, I don't know if I would have done that. Especially since you already were like a foundational member of the show. I would not have came back to it as a villain. But luckily for Shannon, you did. So she's coming back everything is about Shannon, right? Everything is about how in love she is with John. Everything is about how Shannon is obsessed with them, but it's not giving that Shannon is obsessed, right? Shannon is just freshly moved on. It seems like Alexis wants to keep Shannon in this grieving space that she was in when her relationship with John broke up. But I am starting to think that Shannon was the one that ended it. I noticed she said that John didn't want to be with her anymore, but it seems like the way John is acting that he didn't want the relationship to end. Because if you wanted the relationship to be over, if you did not like or enjoy your time with Shannon, why when she was with you were you always available to film? Like every scene we had to deal with you when all we wanted to see was Shannon. Now you're suddenly dating a new person on the show, and everywhere Shannon goes, you and her try to show up. It's giving John wanted to be a housewife too. And the thing about it is, so many women are in relationships with their biggest hater. So many women are in relationships with men who do not want them. They want their power. They want their access. They want their popularity. And I think that that is what was happening with Shannon and John, because I think that John likes being associated and on this show. And when his relationship ended with Shannon, his relationship with this show ended. But now he's somehow back on the show. And we're absolutely going to see him again because he's going to convince Alexis to bring him to something. He might not outright say it, but he's going to say something like, oh, I want to be there to support you. I think if it's something that Alexis is doing, if it's something that she's hosting, he's going to try to make an appearance. Not to get under Shannon's skin, to get back on camera. Men are groupies as well. Men are big hoes. They will hoe a woman out for an opportunity. They will do something strange for some change. And I think that's what's happening here. But Shannon, good for you. Good for you that Jesus Jugs took such low-hanging fruit to get on this show. Because of it, you're going to have the best season ever. And this was supposed to be your worst season. Won't he do it? This was supposed to be your worst season. And Jesus Jugs came in and redeemed you in 3 freaking episodes. My God, today. My God, today. Emily, we've already talked about this briefly. I don't want to talk about, for some reason, we have been dealing with the storyline of her body for 3 seasons. I'm sorry, if Emily doesn't have anything other than body dysmorphia, she got to go. She got to go. Season 19, if she don't have nothing to talk about, she got to go. Because we had to deal with her husband, Rumpelstiltskin, and don't like her for like 3 seasons. Then when she tried to say that relationship was in a good space, all of a sudden it became the body. We have to find something else. These storylines are not interesting. It's not enough to keep you as a main cast member. Maybe friend of the show, main cast member, absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you were more body positivity, maybe, right? Because even the boudoir photo shoot that you did or whatever, it was for Rumpelstiltskin, who don't even appreciate you now. Who don't even appreciate you now. You doing all of this stuff, showing them cakes to Rumpelstiltskin drinking a big gulp full of Diet Pepsi. Girl, do better. Girl, do better. He's not worth it. No, I'm not going to say that your husband's not worth it. I'm just going to say it's not worth the storyline that is interesting. We got to come with something else, or season 19. Sayonara, honey. Sayonara. Let's get into the new edition, Katie. Love her. Love her. I know people are like, oh, she's trying to pick a fight with Heather. Absolutely, because she's Heather's replacement. Stick a pin in that for a minute. Where the hell is Heather? How do I not have her picture? How do I not have Heather's picture? Hold on. How do I not have Heather's picture? Because I really liked her outfit. Hold on. Do I not have Heather? I got Tamra. That was the last one that I did. Where is Heather? Where is Heather? Well, where are all the ladies? This is Katie. I do not have Heather's picture. Okay, let me try to get there real quick. Oh my God, Heather, I'm so sorry. Where is her picture? I can't believe I don't have her picture. You know why I don't have her picture? Oh, here it is. I want to have it. It's gonna look better the next time I do a review. I'll have it, I'll do all the work and stuff that I do on my other ones with this one. But for right now, we're gonna do what we have to do just so we can talk about it real quick. Because I think I know what's going on here. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Katie, in my opinion, was hired to go after Heather, right? Because Katie loved you. It don't make no sense why you got beef with her. It don't make any sense why you have beef with her. The reason why I believe that Katie was hired to go after Heather is because she's Heather's replacement. Oh, eating, the hair, paid actor, eating. I think Katie is here to replace Heather because, guys, Heather has a high rise in Los Angeles, and now she just brought a multi-million-dollar home in Beverly Hills. But she still lives in Orange County? No, she doesn't. She only comes down to film. She does not live there. So why have a housewife on this show if she doesn't, on the Real Housewives of Orange County, if she doesn't live there? Her kids go to school in LA. So why is she there filming the show? Heather is going to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And to that I say, finally, bravo, you are welcome, because I gave you that suggestion the minute she hit the stage in Orange County. Heather never fit, in my opinion. And if you've been following me from the beginning, you know that I've been saying that. Heather has always been Beverly Hills to me. Now, will Heather go over to Beverly Hills and kill it? I don't know, because Beverly Hills got a lot of strong personalities. I don't know. I don't know if that snootiness is going to work with them girls. However, I always feel like she was a much better fit there. And I honestly think that if we don't see her on this season, I don't think we will. I think we're going to see her on the next. It makes no sense for this woman who doesn't live in Orange County to film The Real Housewives of Orange County. If anything, I think they might be auditioning her just to see the temperature. Not saying that she's auditioning by filming. I think they're probably having her at events to see how she does with the ladies. Because at the end of the day, this cast has to feel comfortable filming with her. But I think that's where Heather is going. And I think that's why we got Katie, because Katie's going to come in and be the Heather, right? Not as snooty, but she has a strong East Coast personality. I don't know if she's from the East Coast, but I think that she just has she has a very dominant personality like Heather. And we need a personality like that to replace Heather in her absence. But I think this might be her last season. I think this might be Heather's last season because it makes no sense. Apartment in LA, beautiful home in Beverly Hills, but you're driving down. You're doing the 45-minute drive to Orange County to film to have lunch. Who does that? Get out of here. Get out of here. And also, Heather doesn't really have a storyline this season. What is a storyline? She doesn't have one. She doesn't need to work that hard because this is her last season. Katie is the one putting in work. Katie is the one, every time she gets a chance, she's talking about Heather. Katie is the one who was crowned by Sutton. And Sutton was the one even leading up to the beef, giving the audience of what this is about to be, telling Katie, I wouldn't go after Heather if I was you. And Katie was like, who cares, right? So we're going to have them beef, and then we're going to have her replaced. That's what I think is happening. And I like it. I like Katie. You know what I mean? Typical Orange County girl. If she's from Orange County, I'm not sure. No, Atlanta. She's from Atlanta. That's where that dominant personality comes from. She's the Georgia girl. Atlanta, to be specific. So she got hands. But anyway, a Korean child, adopted white parents, didn't know anything of her culture, didn't know how to speak her own language, got with a Korean man, had Korean children, Their kids speak the language. She was engulfed in that culture. They got divorced. She married one of her coworkers. She has a child with him. He takes care of her very nicely, but she also is a woman that has like her own, right? Very just like Heather. Heather had her own life, her own identity. Then she met Terry and became the housewife. But she's somebody who knows how to stand on her 2 feet, no matter if it's going good or not, right? She is the perfect Heather replacement. I like her. I don't think that her beefing with Heather is her trying to get brownie points for the show or her trying to create a storyline. I think that her beefing with Heather is strategic, and I think production put the both of them up to it. I think we're going to get a butting of heads, and then we're going to get, them working out and becoming friends, and Heather crowning her as her replacement. I like her. Let's get into, before we get into the last couple that I want to talk about, Tamra. She's just not needed. She's just not needed. I think that Tamra is trying to create some drama with Shannon. It's just not landing because Shannon has rose into the Vicky of this show, right? This show is now Shannon's show. You come to this show to see Shannon Storms Bedore overreact, have a meltdown, do something funny about the Trace Amigas. It's her show at this point. So Tamra is really not needed because I feel like Tamra is beefing with her just to have something going on. And it's just like none of it is landing because the audience just doesn't care. So I never want to take a check out of another woman's hands, but that podcast is so terrible. It's giving like actual white woman, the white woman version, the actual white woman version of Reasonably Shady. It's just such a negative podcast. It's just so negative. They never talk about anything good. And it's just like, that podcast is negative. She's negative. That her marriage with her bestie is negative. It's all just negative. It's just a negative cloud. And it's just not fun seeing her engage with anybody because it's just always negative. I think the show can move on from her. I think she can be replaced by a young, hot Mexican housewife. I don't think it's needed. Let's get into Jen. You will never get me defending the rich, right? But I'm gonna say my 2 cents about a woman going through some jacked up stuff, right? Jen, off the show, we have recently learned that she, her divorce has been settled, right? She got her little money. She got, alimony. She got, child support. So she's good. But the filming of the show, she was not good. She got evicted, had to move in with Ryan, had to, get some money from her parents, having a difficult time. Why? Because her husband, who I guess out of spite, decided that he wasn't paying the bills that he was paying before, right? They had agreed to him paying her rent in a home where she was taking care of the kids that they have together, and he reneged on the rent, and she got evicted. Gina is mad at her for getting evicted because she is a new real estate agent, and she got the real estate agent to rent to Jen as a favor. And then Jen gets evicted, and Gina is going on lying, in my opinion, about how her name is being ruined and how this real estate agent will not return her calls. I don't believe Gina, right? I never believed this real estate agent storyline. And even if this is a fake storyline, how she is going about it, I think is so damaging to her popularity, right? This could have been a season for her to really start off strong, but she's just making a terrible choice. So Gina, freshly, she's out of this divorce. Her and her ex are in a good place. She has this new job as a real estate agent, and she's doing very well. Instead of just enjoying this season of her life where it's finally on the up and up, she's tearing down everybody in her vicinity. Gina is fresh off of Section 8, fresh out of the shelter, telling every and anybody as a real estate agent that Jen got evicted and saying, here's how I found out Jen got evicted. I watched her Instagram and she said she was moving. She never said that she got evicted. She just said that she was moving on to something else. You did some snooping, went and talked to somebody and found out that she got evicted and started telling everybody. I don't know how that's going to help you as a real estate agent, but I feel like that might not work in your favor, that you're telling clients business. I don't know how it was HIPAA, but it's given HIPAA, right? So she's now telling Jen's business to everybody. Her and Emily. I can't believe Emily got time to talk about anybody's situation when she then came on this TV and told us that she settled for Rumpelstiltskin because no other man wanted her. Sitting over here talking about Jen and her situation, calling her broke, laughing at her, telling her she need to get up and get a job. She don't need to get no damn job. Why? Because her man, even if it's scamming coins, got some money. He told her, I'm going to absorb your debt, get rid of your car. I'll give you my car and move you and them 15 damn kids in my home. I got you, a man. Even if he's a scammer, he's a man. So she don't got to do that because she don't got to split no bills because she got a man. Let me bring up Jen because she got a man that's going to take care of her. Even if it's scamming money, he said, I got you. Bring all them kids to my place. I got you. You don't got to worry about a thing. I got you. That's what y'all mad about. That's what y'all mad about because even at her lowest, she still got a man ready to take care of her and give her the princess treatment. And y'all like, go out there, get a job, stand on your own 2 feet. You stand on your own 2 feet when you have to. She doesn't have to. She was in that apartment, never paying the bill. That's the thing. That's what y'all mad about. She ain't never paid the bill in her life. Tragic trad wife story. But she ain't never paid the bill. She ain't never had a credit card. Everything was always taken care of because she came from money and she married into money. So everything was always taken care of. Her money didn't get locked up until that man locked her money up. And I don't know what's going on with her and her parents, but she was crying saying that her parents gave her some money. But I'm just like, they couldn't give you money before you got evicted. That was a little weird to me, but I'm just saying, she's figuring out a lot of things because she just has not had to do it. And the reason why I sympathize with her is because growing up in church, you meet a lot of women like this. You meet a lot of women like this. I'm thinking of one woman in particular who her husband divorced her in her 60s. High school sweethearts. She never owned a credit card, never learned how to drive because she had a driver. He had money. So he had a driver for her. She never knew how to drive, never knew how to write or form a check, never paid a bill a day in her life. He took care of everything. So when they got divorced, she in her freaking 60s had to figure everything out. Thank God she had a community of women who cared about her and wanted her to succeed, who helped her out, and her children. Unfortunately for Jen, she's in a group of haters who want her to fail. They're sitting there talking about, oh, I had to do this, and that's what you had to do. You had to live in a casita, Gina. She didn't have to do that. I don't think that Jen would have signed the lease to that apartment if she knew that man was not going to pay for that rent. Nowhere in her mind does she think he's going to allow us, not even me, his kids to get put on the street. No way did that woman think that. And no way is any woman who is in a relationship with a man who they have children with thinking that. You never think it's going to get that bad that man, out of spite, would rather see his kids on the street than have a roof over their head. She never thought that. So for them to go with this storyline of her just being this bumbling idiot and getting herself evicted and not paying her rent, why would she want her and all her kids on the street? Why would she want to do that? Like, y'all not making sense, and y'all not being nice as women who went through the same thing, especially Gina. I cannot believe that she is not giving Jen an inch of sympathy. She's not giving her nothing. She's just dragging her and speaking so poorly of her. She's doing the same thing to Travis. She's doing the same thing to Travis. When she talked to Jen, she dragged Jen up and down that coffee shop. Then when they have the little flag football game, she sits down with Jen, and Jen is reiterating what was happening with her. Gina goes, well, I'm sorry, but Travis is leaving. Don't make this about you. Don't make this about you. Make this about how poorly you talked about another woman who was in the situation that you just got out of. But Gina is doing well. So because she's doing well, she's the type of person who, when they do well, they look down on people who were just in their situation. She's looking down on this woman who is getting put through the ringer by a man that she loved, that she is now divorcing. You went through the same thing, if not worse. You can't give this woman an ounce of sympathy. And the reason why you can't give her an ounce of sympathy is because she comes from money. What the hell does that got to do with anything? She's still going through the same situation. And now that you got your little money and now you're doing better, now you're freshly, you're out of this divorce, you and your ex are on good terms. Now all of a sudden you don't want to absorb Travis's problems, issues with his divorce or his kids. Him and his kids got to go. But when you were going through it, when he was absorbing your mess, when he was absorbing all the drama from your ex, when he was protecting you from your ex, it was okay. But now it's, oh, I don't want to deal with Travis and his ex. I don't want to deal with Travis and his kids. But he did that for you, and you can't do it for him. This is a terrible look for you, Gina. Not this look. You're eating this. The look that you have on this show. It's terrible. It's so terrible that you would allow yourself to go out like that. And now Jen, who we can't even get on. Another thing, the same thing that's happening with Shannon is happening with Jen. Jen should be getting cussed out, right? Because I get it. You're a trad wife. Understandable. But now you got to get on your feet, mama, and you got to think. You got to figure this situation out, and you have to stop living a life where you think that men are going to come save you. I absolutely get that, and I absolutely think that that is what people would have been saying about her had Gina not come in and been so awful. Now everybody is protecting Jen and all of her follies. God is looking out for Jen and Shannon this season. My God, today. That's all I want to say about this show. What do you guys have to say? Let's get into it. I'm going to put on the timer for 10 minutes. Let's go. Let's go. Asher said Tamara coming back was a mistake on Bravo, period. Sick to being annoying and desperate with Teddy. I feel like that podcast just ruined her image, in my opinion. That podcast is so negative. It's terrible. OMG, thank you, Give Me Shelter, for the super chat. Give Me Shelter said, just because you're wonderful. Thank you. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I apologize for my little, New Jersey hater rant. Y'all didn't deserve that. Forgive me. Forgive me. I'm doing better. I'm learning. I'm listening and I'm learning. I'm listening and I'm learning. Give Me Shelter also said, Real Housewives doesn't need Tamara anymore. Real Housewives of Orange County doesn't need Tamara anymore. I agree. Her antics are 15 years too old for today's fan base. I agree. Hey, Miss T, how are you? Asher said, Tamara coming back. Oh, we got that one. Give Me Shelter said, John Jansen is so corny for this. I would have drank too if I was snuggling up to next to that thing. I think Shannon being single and removed from that toxic relationship, I think she's going to remain sober. I really feel like he was a lot of her issues. He was a lot of her issues. Give Me Shelter also said, Alexis wants Shannon to be obsessed with her. It's the other way around, child. John is using Alexis and the show to get back to his former sugar mom. Yep. That's what it is. That's what it is. He want to get back to that sugar mama. The well is running dry. That's exactly what it is. I think that she's just putting it on for the show. I think she really is. I think that she's putting 20 on 10 because Alexis need the money. Her and John, the girls are broke. They need the money. Jade said, can't stand Heather. She will bomb on Beverly Hills. I hope they don't waste their time with her. Her only thing is looking down on OC ladies. That's all she has. She gonna get a ride for her life in Beverly Hills. Them girls don't play over there. Asher said, I've never been a fan of Orange County for a long time, but Heather has always been the exception for me. She's good on Orange County, but I really think she's making that transition to Beverly Hills. Give each other said, poor Heather stuck with working with those Walmart employees, except for Shannon. Shannon is a Bloomingdale's employee. Don't do Shannon like that. JG said, can you imagine Heather trying to use her condescending tone with Erica? I'm being dead serious. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for a Heather and Erica confrontation. It won't go well. It won't go well. It won't go well. Trying to act like she was an actress with Garcelle and trying to flaunt her wealth with Sutton. She gonna have a hard time. She gonna have a hard time, but she's gonna find her footing. She's going to find her footing. Gibby Shelton said Tamra showed her desperate hand when she started with Teresa online and then peddled in 2023. She still thinks this is 2010. Absolutely. Yeah, it just didn't hit. It's not hitting. It's not hitting. Like constantly going to Shannon, oh, you're not a good person. We don't believe it. We don't believe it. Like, let it go. And all you and Eddie do is gossip about Shannon. Both of y'all need jobs. Hey, Charles Love said Gina has a nerve coming at Jen like that. I felt so bad for Jen. I was screaming at my TV after they said that she was squatting. That was so nasty. That was so nasty. That was so low to do that to a woman who is in a situation that you were in 2 seasons ago. How quickly you forget Gina. And then what's going to happen? Gina's going to be humbled again. And everybody's going to have sympathy for her while she's crying all over the place with her extensions looking a hot mess. Everybody's going to have sympathy for her. But then you're going to have to watch out for when she gets back on her feet to how she's going to treat people who end up in that same situation. I'm actually shocked that she's dealing with Shannon with such kid gloves, because the way she was gloating when, Shannon's DUI actually happened, I'm actually shocked how she's dealing with her. Maybe because she knows that who Shannon is at this point. Asher said, I'm going to keep it buck. Gina, Tamara, and all except for Shannon and Heather and maybe Jen. To be honest with you, if they ever shake up this cast, I would want Shannon to stay. It's her show at this point. Jen is not like that interesting, but I would want her to stay to see what's going to happen with that boyfriend. I need to see. Let's break that down. What's going on over there? So I would want her to stay because I want to see Ryan's journey. And Katie. Those would be the only ones I would want. Man, when he said, I'll absorb your debt, I said, ooh, I know that's right. SCP said, Jen do need to learn to depend on herself because she's about to be in the same position. Oh my God. Such an upstanding scammer. Poor thing. Poor thing. Nikki Nick said, I felt so bad for Jen's kids saying how they felt about moving around. And those kids are only moving around because their dad is mad at their mom. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? You watched your kids get evicted because you're mad at their mother. Horrible. 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 Give me Chelsea said, that's what Gina is mad about. Travis had to move into her house. Jen moved into, and she didn't even want to do that. He said, come here. I got you. Ah! Yes. Yes. Yeah, she comes from money. I don't know what's going on with her parents' money. I don't know. But the girl has just like, I don't, again, I'm not going to be defending a rich person, but I'm just like, she does not know what she's doing. She does not know what she's doing. Let me tell you something. I grew up poor, working class, right? But I grew up bougie. You know what I mean? Like, we had some nice stuff in the hood. I didn't really know about struggle until I got to college. And I was like, this is unfamiliar to me. And it was really difficult living like that because it just was not a norm. And it was something that I had to learn. I did not eat ramen until I was in college. Listen, working class but bougie, we had some nice stuff. So that was like a lot for me to take in. So I'm just like, give the girl a break. Let her figure this out. She ain't never been poor before. So she's trying to figure this out. She took her first eviction very well. That I commend her for that. She's like, yeah, I got evicted. I wouldn't even tell anybody that. I'd be like, yeah, I just had to move, girl. You know, it wasn't for me. It was, they had rats and I don't do rat. What? She was like, yeah, I got evicted. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like, oh my God. She really don't know this life. Give the woman a break. She's going through this with all these damn kids that she thought that she was always going to have help. She had no idea that man would be so mad at her. He would cut off funding for the freaking children they created together. Give her a break. And she said, Gina's convinced herself she's Mauritia from the agency or Chriselle from Selling Sunset. She is not well known enough for her career to be ruined. I don't believe that for 1 second. I don't believe that for 1 second. Nobody is blocking your number and not returning your calls because somebody got evicted. Get out of here. Nobody knows who she is. She's doing too much. Chels Love said Gina is jealous, period. Yep. Calling her a broke Barbie, low. Gina has been close to a Barbie. She's mad because she's jealous. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. That girl don't have to worry about nothing. She don't have to worry, but she even got a scammer saying, I got you. JG said, mind you, Gina kicking out her man who was there for her. Yep, through her tough times because he is now going through it. Just nasty work. And she's just like, I don't know if I made the right choice. And he was like, you told me to leave, and now you're crying saying you don't know if you made the right choice. It's confusing. And if she thinks that man is going to stay with her, girl, you kicked him and his children out of a home that they didn't want to leave. No way he's staying with you. You might get your feelings hurt if he get back with that ex. Child. That's why she's been making your life hell, because she want him back. And you just made it easy for her. I am actually so shocked, Robbie. I really, really am. I was like, I cannot believe this is Gina. Her and Emily laughing at it. And I'm like, neither one of you should be laughing at any woman's situation. Because no matter what Jen is going through, she don't want your life. The audacity. Chelsea Love said, when Jen said she never had a credit card in her name, I felt so bad. The women were being mean to her. Yeah, there's so many women that live like that. And a lot of them are like in these religions. Shout out to the Mormon girls. I know y'all going through it. But, you know, a lot of them are like in deeply religious relationships with deeply religious men and deeply religious families. And this is the norm. So I'm just like, we don't want to turn our noses up and look down on women like that, because there are a lot of them. They're in our family, and it could be you. A lot of you don't even realize you're trap wives. A lot of you don't even realize it. You done got love bombed and gifted so much by this man. You don't realize that ain't nothing in your name. You don't realize that you have now been a wife and a mother for so long. Your resume is garbage. If he ever decides that one day he doesn't like you and he wants to leave, you are screwed. It is very easy as a woman to fall into that. Very easy. Let's not look down on women who going through that like we better. Girl, it could never be me. Okay. Let something tall with a nice jawline walk up on you. All of a sudden, it's you. Stay woke. Spitzy said, Jen having 5 kids and the father abandoned them. Oh, that man is evil. Evil. Okay, let me tell you something. You can say a lot about the men in my family. But one thing you can say is that they don't take care of their kids. My uncle, doing too much of my business. But I just got to brag on him for a minute. My uncle, with his first wife, had 2 kids. They got divorced. He got with another woman. They had 1 child. Even in death, while he was living and in death, he was taking care of both households. And I'll never forget my aunt asking him, she was just like, oh, you still paying the bills over there? He said, I created the households. I got to take care of them. Bar was set. Bar was set for me. Bar was set. Even in death, he took care of both of them households. Because although they were no longer together, his first wife had 2 of his children. And he was not going to allow his last child to live a better life because he was in that house. He made sure everything stayed on, that fridge stayed filled, whatever they needed, they had everything, and they had him. Because all his kids was at the family function. Like, that bar was set. He said, I created the households. I'm going to take care of them. How the hell you let your not even your ex-wife, your kids get evicted? And you have the money. How do you let that happen? Diabolical. Diabolical. Give me something. Emily and Gina are such mean girls. Gina has a job for 1 year out of the 7 years on the show, and now she thinks she's a maven of the industry. Gina, please. JG said Gina told on herself when she brought up Jen having a professional makeup. Yep. And maintaining her hair. Like, duh, she's a baddie. She's not coming on national TV. She's at work, right? Acting like she don't have a job. She's literally at work, looking like a clearance rag, envy and jealousy. It absolutely is. And Jen said, listen, just because you looked the best when you was going through, don't mean I have to. Your hair was all over the place, not my hair. Like, you're acting like she needs to come on TV looking how you looked. No, she doesn't need to have a digital footprint of her extensions being all over the place, of her weave being jacked up and ratty. No, she don't need that. That's your storyline. That's what you wanted to do. She don't want to do that. She said, I'm going to be on TV. I'm going to have my lashes, my hair, and my makeup done because I'm at work and my work is a TV show. What is wrong with that? And if it wasn't for work, what is wrong with a woman going through absolute hell doing a little bit of maintenance to keep herself up? We all know when we're going through, especially as a woman, when you get them eyebrows done, which I need, my God, today. When you get them nails done, which I need, my God, today, but that's going to be handled. You're a different person. It's a confidence boost. What's wrong with that? She's going through hell. Let her get her nails and lashes done. What is wrong with that? Chelsea Love said Gina wants to leave Travis. That's what it's giving. She wants to leave him, right? But she don't have no prospects. So she don't want to fully let him go until she has somebody better. Terrible way to treat people. Terrible way to treat people. Thank you so much, because you know when you send me super chats, YouTube gets 40%. But I'm not judging. Send it however you want to send it. But thank you so much, Give Me Shelter. I understand. Blue Jay said, what is the road do you think that Tamra should have taken? I honestly think the podcast was just her downfall. She just doesn't seem likable. And I don't want to listen to her, and I don't want to watch her on my TV. I think if her coming back on the show, she should have came back as being a bone carrier, not a pot stirrer, right? You know, Sheree, in my opinion, was the best bone carrier because Sheree would take stuff back, and then she would be like, who said that? Me? Oh, what did I say that? You know what I mean? Like, Tamra should have played that role because it's comical. It's fun. She's not playing a role that's fun. And then off the show, she's just not likable. So she shot herself in the foot. Don't link with Teddy. Anybody that links with Teddy, it's something ain't right there. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood Watch said, not to be cruel, it's 2024. Jenna's had opportunities we can only dream of. Get it together, girl. No pity party for you. Absolutely. And she would not have a pity party. And the viewers would be treating her like that if Gina wasn't so terrible to her. Gina's ODing it that everybody's just like, you doing too much. Let's pick her up. But if Gina wasn't doing that, everybody would be like, Jen, you're a grown woman with all these kids. You better figure it out. But nobody's doing that now because Gina and Emily are being so awful to her. Captain for Creativity said Alexis acting like Shannon sloppy seconds is a prize is giving women are down bad in 2024. Listen, like I said before, the girls are broke. Alexis is doing what she needs to do to keep the lights on. She is doing everything that she needs to do to make sure she stays. Sorry, I'm bringing up an article about New Jersey. She's doing what she needs to do to make sure she stays on TV and keeps a check. Blue Jay said, don't seek comfortably in someone else's misery. Absolutely. Or you will face worst of those you laugh at. Absolutely. Give me a shout to say, y'all remember how obsessed Tamara was with Ryan's D last season? She's tired of taking care of Eddie, but because she sacrificed a relationship with her kids for him, she won't kick him out. That's a good perspective. Asher said the fact that Vicky is coming off more likable than Tamara and she's not even on the show anymore. Yep. Mr. Rogers' neighborhood wife said Gina has bounced back and is looking like a bigger fish. She wants her ex's money or higher. And it's not going to work in her favor. You cannot treat people like that. You cannot treat people like that. What's going to happen is Travis, he's going to be on a come up. Travis is either going to get back with that ex or he's going to lose some weight, big up his body, and get somebody younger and hotter, and she's going to feel like garbage. Give me a shout said, looking at Gina and Danielle Cabral, bring out my inner Anna Delvey and Anna's voice. You look so poor. NC said, I LOL'd when Heather asked Katie if all her kids were by her husband. What she really wanted to ask is, how many baby daddies do you have? Heather is a menace, but I want to know too. Two. Katie has two. Pink Petal says, just because you're going through it doesn't mean that you have to look like it. Pick yourself up and keep it moving, girls. Absolutely. Because it does nothing for you. It does nothing for you. That's why I'm just like, listen, if I'm wallowing in depression for too long, baby, I get up and I take me a luxurious shower. I'm like, oh, I've been here too long. Let me take a luxurious shower, do some skincare, start pulling out the stuff that you only pull out for your birthday, putting on the expensive eye patches. Do something to get yourself feeling better. And you feel better after something like that. It's mental, it's care for your mental health. It's something that you need to do, especially as a woman. Give me a chance to say Gina has always made her issues other people's problem. Remember when she got mad at Bronwyn over private school? Remember Bronwyn? Oh, she was interesting. Gina is so immature. Sebastian, thank you so much for the super chat. Sebastian said, Jen isn't even in high glam, so I need Gina to set a standard of appearance for her damn self. Life is going to get her for this ugly behavior. Listen, what you put out comes back. We're going to end with Asher and then get into New Jersey. Asher said, okay, this is off topic, but what do you think about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, specifically Miss Monica Reality Von Teese? I think that she was a great addition to the show. I think the only reason why she is no longer on the show is because of the color of her skin. That's just my honest opinion. You have to realize that show is based around Mormons. Read into Mormonism if you want to know what's going on. I think she was in a cast, her and Mary go through the same thing. I think they're in a cast of people who do not see them as fully realized human beings, and the human beings that they see them are as people who should not be here or that God does not like. I told you guys I stopped reviewing that show and I will never talk about that show because I worked on it for a few days, and this is the last and only thing I'll say about that show moving forward. There's no racism like Mormon racism. Lovely cast. Had no issues with the ladies, but there is no racism like Mormon racism. And they put somebody on the show who was young, hot, and dark. Somebody that they couldn't call crazy. Somebody that they couldn't make a pariah. And it did not work in her favor. They need to keep that show white. White and Mormon, because that's the only people they can really work with. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Let's move on to the Real Housewives of New Jersey. I don't really have a lot to say about Jersey. Here's why. It rest in peace. Rest in peace. They don't like each other. The show just does not work. What I will say, the Jen and Danielle drama is starting to supersede Teresa and Melissa's mess. And I'm just like, oh my God, we replace one demonic duo for another one. Listen, the issue with Jen and Danielle, for one, I don't believe that Danielle should have jumped in Jen's face like that, right? I also don't believe that Jen should have pushed her. Jen could have easily stepped back, walk away, or she could have said, do not come up this close to me. I don't like that. It feels aggressive, right? She could have done something like that. Instead, she pushed this woman aggressively. And she responded, Danielle responded with a glass across the side of her face. The show should have been done then. The show should have been done then. Lucky for Danielle, that glass didn't cut Jen in the face. Since then, these two have not sat down or had a conversation, and it doesn't seem like Danielle wants to move on, because every time she sees Jen, she's making a snide comment, telling her she looks hideous, talking about her in front of the group to her face, bringing the cake to an event and, making a comment about her falling off the cake, like just not wanting to move forward. And that's the problem with Jersey. They don't move forward. They keep us in these arguments and this drama with them, wallowing in this misery. They do not move on because they do not like each other. And it's just not fun anymore. It's not fun to watch them. So I am not surprised that this show is coming to an end. Like, it was bound. It was bound to come to an end, because they just are not, they're not showing up to work. Like, Danielle, have some freaking decorum. You guys are at work. I don't know why y'all get so comfortable at these jobs where y'all feel like y'all don't have to clock in. And they're just not showing up the way that they need to. Speaking of Jen, I'm glad that she's finally waking up to the fact that Teresa is not a girl's girl, right? Teresa, my girl, very male-centered. Teresa, my girl from Paterson, New Jersey, is extremely male-centered. Teresa has loyalty to no one but a penis. I'm sorry. She will be loyal to a man down. Another woman, it's not going to happen. And I'm glad that that Jen is finally seeing that Teresa is just not going to ride for her. And it's just not in her nature, right? Teresa is going to look out for Teresa always. But I will say this. I do think that Teresa has vouched for Jen in places where it matters, right? Specifically with Bravo execs. I do think that she looks out for her that way. But in anything more than that, which is still a lot, but anything more than that, Jen is not going to get it. Jen wants Teresa to be a friend to her that she is to Teresa, and it's just not going to happen. Teresa's not going to give her loyalty and love to another woman. She's going to pour everything into her man and into her kids. And what's ever left over, she will give to you, but not that much. That's just who she is. That is just who she is. But I'm glad that Jen is finally waking up to the fact that that girl is not your friend like that. Speaking of Risa, I need her to unblur the lines between her and Gia, right? That's the oldest one, Gia, right? Because Gia has now become her girlfriend, where Gia is now sitting with her mom talking about Louis and his ex-wife and their problems. Listen, I get it. She's grown, right? That is still your child. There needs to still be a mother-daughter relationship. Y'all don't need to be sitting up in the kitchen talking about your men together and about the issues y'all have with your men and their exes. I just feel like she doesn't need to be brought into that, because the lines will begin to blur, right? And then when it's time for you to be mom, she can't respect that because y'all been girlfriends this entire time. Let's unblur the lines And let's just have it mother and daughter. Because y'all getting a little too personal. And now she's starting to be in stuff that I don't think will work in your favor in the long run, especially, being a daughter myself and how we protect our mothers. You're going to be giving her information and feeding a pit bull. Daughters don't play about their mothers. They are ready to attack. You're going to be giving her too much information and she's going to become a liability to you. Let's unblur the lines and let's keep it cute, mother and daughter relationship. One thing I will say, Dolores shows loyalty to Teresa with people she does not like. Because the way Dolores clocked in on Jen, when Jen told Teresa, I can't believe you're still friends with somebody like Danielle, because Jen went in her relationship with anybody over Teresa, right? Teresa won't do that. So she's mad at Teresa about that, and she gets with Teresa. Dolores jumps in acting like she's ready to fight Jen over Teresa. And the only reason why Dolores jumped in like that is because she does not like Jen. If Marge talked to Teresa like that, Dolores wouldn't jump in. Dolores would find a reason to rectify it, or she would find a reason to justify what Marge said. And she would be like, well, I didn't want to jump in and I didn't want to say anything because they're both my girlfriends. They're both my girlfriends. You've been riding with Teresa since you were 14 years old. What the hell you mean that her and Marge are on the same level? That they both your girlfriends? Not to that extent. Y'all didn't roll with each other through terrible men, multiple pregnancies, the ups and downs of young womanhood all the way into womanhood, and you got her on the same level as Marge. But again, Teresa's not a girl's girl, so I can understand where Dolores is coming from. But it's just these relationships on this show, absolutely weird. Let's get into the reboot. So this is according to E! News. Andy Cohen has a message to his Real Housewives of New Jersey fans worried about a cast reboot. In fact, no need to flip a table just yet. Real Housewives of New Jersey fans. In fact, Andy Cohen has a message for Bravoholics worried that the reality series recently canceled season 14 reunion means the show is getting rebooted with a whole new cast. Andy says, everything that you've heard about casting on the Housewives of Jersey is untrue. The Watch What Happens Live host exclusively told E! News and his Anderson Cooper storytelling talk at the 2024 Tribeca Film Festival in New York City. There will be no decisions made for many months on Jersey. So anything you read about the casting on Jersey is not true. Andy reiterated that the network is taking a pause ahead of filming season 15 as the network figures out how to proceed with the show amid severely fractured cast dynamics. He says, I think there are several different ways we can go with it. And that's what the fun of doing this job is. We get to figure out as a team and see what we need to do. He also says you can expect a group of some of our Watch What Happened Live favorites to join me to celebrate and look back on an incredible ride of the Real Housewives of New Jersey. So basically what's going to happen with the Real Housewives of New Jersey is that they're not going to have, the reunion is canceled, and Andy's going to sit down with the women individually and talk to them about what happened this reunion. This is, and I said this previously, that the Real Housewives of New Jersey, this cast has successfully plotted their way out of the best check of their lives. This show being canceled and rebooted, because that's what's going to happen. We all know what a put on pause means on Bravo. They have nobody to blame but themselves. Because for Andy to say they're looking to do different things concerning fractured cast dynamics means that these ladies cannot put their beef aside to work together to keep this easy check. I can't believe Rachel Fuda is still on Instagram taking shots at Teresa when, honey, you and your man need this check. The way y'all perform on that TV show, y'all need this check. I can't believe Melissa and her husband are going around, Little Caesar himself, are going around just being so negative and dark and still throwing shots at Teresa when the creator of this freaking show says the show has been put on pause because of because of fractured cast dynamics. Then Teresa hops on Instagram and she's just like, please just let us heal. She knows what this check is. She knows what this check means. And if the show gets rebooted, she's trying to stay on it. Them other broads are not doing any kind of work. Andy himself said the cast is fractured. Why wouldn't y'all host a girls get together, some type of bonfire, and kill your issues there? Post a picture on Instagram and just write healing. Y'all are all going to lose this check that y'all need. Marge gets sued every damn day. She needs this check. What are you doing? They all need this check. Envy hasn't sold a shoe in 10 years. Y'all all need this check. I do not know why y'all are acting like this is something that you don't need to survive. Y'all still paying a freaking mortgage. Ain't none of y'all bought them houses up front with cash. Y'all need this check. What are y'all going to do? Y'all are not working to save this show. Y'all are not even auditioning to be on the reboot. And y'all going to be mad when Teresa gets maybe not a reboot, but when she gets her own little show. Y'all going to be mad because she knows what this check means. And she's going to do what she needs to do to feed all them damn kids. And Louie, child. She's going to do what she needs to do. The rest of them broads are not doing anything. It's crazy to me. What the hell is Dolores going to do? That Irish guy with the arched eyebrows, he's not marrying her. And when she's not filming this show and just laying around all day and does not have the Real Housewives of New Jersey for him to profit off of, who knows what he's going to do? Y'all need this check. Y'all are letting pride get in the way of a really good check. So sad. So sad. Y'all acting like y'all need this check, but you do. But you do. And then you're going to be crying on Instagram, crying on TikTok Live, asking people to send you $5 when you could have had a nice $300,000 check every freaking year for 6 months of work. Fools. Fools. That's all I have to say. What do you guys have to say? Let's get into it. Asher said, listen, I stopped being a fan of Jen a while ago, but Danielle is coming off too much for me personally. Yeah, Danielle is doing too much. Danielle is doing too much. Very odd. They're like, why are you keep on attacking this girl? It doesn't make any sense. JG, this is about Salt Lake City, says, speak on it. They allowed Monica to be tossed out when she saved the show, post Jen Shah. I don't trust Heather either. Listen, she was the best thing that ever happened to that season. She got them the views that they've never had. The only time they had those views is when Jen was getting locked up. They keep on pushing out the Black and people of color cast members, and those are the ones that get them the views. But they're going to have to realize that all-white show, they're all going to have to realize who is the draw. And that they'll figure that out when all the color has left that show. JG said, Danielle is such a weirdo. Like, you can tell the new girls think creating enemies will keep them on the show when the show's been in a dark place for too long. That's why you cannot hire fans. That's why you cannot hire fans, because they are thinking that this is what the fans want to see. And if they knew, if they were really like locked in, because they're just fans of the show. They're not like viewers, right? Who just watch the show after work. You know, after you made dinner, you sit on your couch and you just watch this show to like laugh and gag, right? They're just fans of these people, and they've made them these idols. And now that they're on the same level with them, they got to tear them down. And it's just like, if you actually really watch this show, you would know that the viewers are sick of the fighting. We're sick of it. We just want to watch them have fun. Light shade, light drama. This show has been dark for so long, and you come on the show and make it darker? What are you doing? The worst casting choices ever on New Jersey. The worst casting choices. Lovey said, I hope they do in New Jersey. I tuned out years ago. So boring with the same people fighting about the same thing over and over again. There's no movement. There's no movement. Listen, Teresa was down bad for Joe. And we were like, girl, what kind of pipe is he laying for you to be like this over him? Down bad over Juicy Joe. Down bad. Yeah. Gotta break the cycle. Asher said Miss Gia has said that Andy told her she'd make a good housewife. And we all know Bravo loves Miss Gia. Well, yeah, she's good TV. This is the thing. I think Teresa's going to be fine. Bravo loves that family. And of course, you will love that family. They've given you everything. They've given you everything. You watch this woman's family fall apart. You watch this woman give birth to all them kids. You watch this woman go to prison and come back. You watch this woman get divorced and her husband get deported. And then you watch her get married again. Teresa gives them content. They ain't letting her go. And I'm telling you, the broads that do not like her are going to hate her even more when they are all cut loose and Teresa got her own little side project with Bravo. Give Me Shelter said, we need a Real Housewives of Cherry Hill, New Jersey, or a Real Housewives of Manioc, PA. Listen, make it spicy. Let's go to Bala Kenwood. Let's make it Bala Kenwood. Blue Jay said, being male-centric is interesting because I don't think you get much rewards. Oh, you don't. At least with women. I know someone who will defend me, rant, cry, and be community with each other. Or do you say I need someone or know someone? Oh, I know someone who will defend men, rant, cry, and be community with each other. Yep. Give Me Shelter said, it feels like Teresa doesn't have close relationships with the woman because how she leans in on Gia. Mm-hmm. I get Gia had to become a third parent, but when she went to camp, she needs to draw boundaries. Or campus, she needs to draw boundaries. I agree. JG said Dolores is so weird. She rides the fence because she's trying to stay on the show, no matter the direction or the take. Yep. Asher said, Nikki, you shouldn't be surprised about Dolores since she is still friends with Caroline Manzo. You're right. And chose to not be friends with Dina. Just saying. You are right. Give Me Shelter said, Dolores doesn't like Teresa. She likes Marge. So I'm confused to why people say she's on the fence. Just because of how she defended Teresa. But I think she defended Teresa like that because she does not like Jen. NC said, Danielle is a racist. She captioned the cake photo on Instagram as no more mochies on the bed and made Jen's face on the cake darker than everybody else's. Oh, I would have told you that from her Facebook post about Philando Castile. That's why I always say Danielle can choke. Danielle can choke. Give Me Shelter said, Andy lies all the time. He always says this, a season is amazing and then it stinks. I wish they would get rid of him. Well, he can't say that the season is bad. He has to say it's a good season. He has to. Asher said, the only thing that I will actually miss about this is that the fallout of Marge and Melissa team is on the coming. And yeah, we want to see it on Instagram. JG said production should have took T serious when she said she will not speak to Mel and Tiny Man. They should have booted them and reworked it. And this is the thing. I love Marge, but when she just became so vindictive, it wasn't fun. Like she's doing the same thing that Ayan is doing now in season 2. You're the fun character, and now you just turned it to vengeance. You were brought on this show to bring light to a very dark show, but the darkness consumed you, and you're just not fun to watch anymore. So I feel like the show should have put Melissa and Joe and Marge on pause. They just, because they are the only ones who was like keeping this going. I feel like Teresa wanted to move forward, but not move forward in like a way of we're all friends. Move forward work-wise. That's why I was riding with her. At least she wanted to move forward work-wise. Melissa and Marge didn't want to move forward work-wise. They still want to keep it going. And it's just like, come on. But this is the thing. One thing I truly believe is that if Melissa and Joe were removed from the show and Teresa stayed on, I guarantee you Joe would have made up with her. Joe would have made up with Teresa. Because that could be the only way that he could get back on that show. And I'm telling you right now, when the show ends and they don't have any prospects, he's going to try to make up with his sister. Because Teresa always going to have a check. She always going to keep a job. He's going to try to make up with his sister. Because the well is one dry. And Teresa, she's so male-centered, I don't think she'll even see it coming. NC said, even though Jen's been sloppy and messy this season, I feel for the microaggressions and xenophobia she's faced from the cast over the years. It's gross, and I wish she'd call it out so they can be held accountable. Yeah, but you also have to think about it. If you have any friends or who are immigrants, or if you've been around friends who are immigrants or first gen, a lot of them like to keep their head down and act like it's not happening to them. Because I think acknowledging it is more painful than actually confronting what's happening to you. And I think we also have to realize that fighting back the powers that be, or standing up for yourself, or fighting racism and xenophobia, like all of these issues that come with living on this land, that's a Black American trait. And I think so many people expect others to react the same way that we react. And it's just not the same, because not everybody has the same experience. And I had to learn that as a Black American, because I would just be like, no, you got to say something. No, don't let them talk to you like that. And then people are just like, hold on. I don't have the same experience here as you. Like, you're an actual American. You can say something. I cannot. Or even if you are an American, shout out to the dreamers. If you're born here, you have a whole party of a whole political party still trying to deport you from the country, because they're trying to say that you are not a legal American. So there's like a lot of eggshells that people have to walk on, who fall into that category. So they just like to keep their head down and not do too much of a separation. Because when you call it out, you separate yourself and you acknowledge that there is an issue. And there's a big chance that the people that you have an issue with will not change, and you'll just be asked to leave. So, I seen it and I wish you would call it out, but I'm just like, I understand why she doesn't. Ashley said, mark my words, Marge, and not Melissa, but Joe Gorga will explode on social media. Just watch. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. JG said, Teresa has enough sense to post that message about crazy fans and other franchise housewives reposting her while her own cast makes throwing shit. Yeah, I'm telling you, the network is going to work with Teresa. The other girls are going to be left in the dust. You are always replaceable. Always replaceable. Asher said Melissa is now talking so lovely about Kathy, and then Kathy is not having it. Good for her. Melissa can't get away with playing victim anymore. She better make up with her sister-in-law. Lovey said, I love to see Housewife franchise in NOLA. Those rich NOLA women are funny and entertaining with money. But see, this is the thing. Louisiana also has a racism problem. New Orleans, I mean, we're going to have to get some progressive housewives. And I don't know if that's possible for all of them. Unapologetically, Romel said, have you talked about Dubai yet? Yes, Dubai was the first show I talked about, I believe. People sleeping on them, and it's a good season. Nobody cares about New Jersey. It's the same BS. Dubai is a lot better than Jersey, but Dubai needs work. Needs work. Asher said, as a Jew from Boca Raton, I apologize publicly to Siggy. She was right about March. I'm a liberal, though. Listen, Siggy, out of her mind. She has some points about March. He absolutely is going to make up with his sister, because she is going to be the lifeline again for him in Bravo. I don't think that she wanted to move forward, right? I think that, I'm not saying family-wise or relationship-wise. She wanted to move forward concerning work. I feel like Teresa is the only one who actually sees that this check is about to end. So I feel like she is the only one actively working to keep this show on the air. And the other cast is not working. Unapologetically, Ramel said, I feel Teresa and Melissa aren't innocent. They both did things to each other from what we saw on TV and online and off camera that we don't know about. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. JG said, Marge been dark, though. What she did to Danielle was unnecessary, hitting that Jen's past marriage issue season before exposing it, setting up the Evan rumor. Been dark and vindictive. Here's the thing. Marge started off very fun. She was remember when Marge was doing the pigtails? March was fun. Her getting involved with Danielle just took her to a dark place. Now, the rumors and the Evan stuff, that's on Jackie. Jackie doesn't want to believe it. Jackie doesn't want to acknowledge it. And now we know that Jackie is just like, I don't want to get into it with Marge because she knows everybody's business. And she just made up with Marge or became her bestie because she knew that Marge has some tea on her man. So she shut that down. And I can't get mad at that woman for how she handled it. But it is on her for allowing Marge to go unscathed. Give Me Shelter said Bravo won't even let Jen A address that Joe and Melissa did to her at BravoCon. To think they would give her ethnic self a voice, absolutely not. Look at Real Housewives of Potomac. Look at what the Real Housewives of Potomac was able to get away with. Listen, again, Jen can absolutely speak up about it, but I just think that I think that's a table she doesn't want to shake, and I understand. It's fine. I understood what you meant. We're going to end here because we're at the 2-hour mark. We're going to end here with Give Me Shelter. Give Me Shelter said Nola is actively trying to segregate white Nola from black Nola. Absolutely. There's a white town being built right now, an all white only town in New Orleans. Welcome to the year 1860. Yeah. So I love New Orleans. I just don't think that a housewife show can come from that right now, especially in the political climate that we're in. I just do not think that is going to be a safe choice. Anyway, Star family, thank you so much for joining me at the last minute. I wanted to do this to put this up a lot earlier, but I just wasn't home. As soon as I got home, I made the live. Well, thank you all so much for joining me. Next week, we're going to have a lot. Let me look at my calendar. Next week, I plan on giving you a lot. Yes. Next week, I plan on giving you a lot of content because the week after that, I'm going to be traveling and I think my channel is going to go dark. Give me until October, guys. I promise. I promise we'll be better. But I'm going to give you a bit more content then, and I'm going to bring back Girl, What's Going On. I probably will call it a new name because there's so much going on outside of reality TV that we absolutely need to talk about. And I have some other shows that I'm catching up on that I want to talk to you guys about, and then just some other little off-topic videos. But expect that next week. Thank you all so much for joining me. Enjoy your weekend. Oh, is Love After Lockup back tonight? Ciao, we'll do Love After Lockup on Monday if it's back tonight. But anyway, I love you all, and I'll see you soon for something else. Bye. Good night. Enjoy your weekend. So long.